are you going to do a top 10 Gravity Falls episodes once you're done watching them? I think yes. I think that's definitely in the plans. As I keep mentioning, I do love me some Gravity Falls. I'm pretty much 3/4 of the way done with the series, assuming it ends in season 2. I think it does. So once I'm done with that, yeah, it'll definitely be a lot of fun talking about the top 10 best episodes as I see it, and I know a lot of you watch and like the show, so hopefully it'll be fun for you too. Do you like musicals? If so, which ones? If not, may I make a suggestion or two that might sway you? Suggestions are always welcome on the Disney Brain. I love the suggestions that you guys give me. Obviously, I wouldn't even have started watching Gravity Falls, and at this point, finishing Gravity Falls, if you guys didn't suggest that I watch it, so I always love suggestions. I try and watch whatever you guys think is pretty good. As far as musicals go, I do love musicals. Being a Disney loving person, loving musicals is kind of affiliated, because even if you go back to something like The Lion King, which is of course one of their best movies, if not the best movie that Disney as a company has ever created, arguably, then that's inherently a musical, and I think that particular movie has some of the best songs of any Disney movie. So yeah, I definitely, and I like the more Broadway affiliated musicals too. I saw Wicked, and that's probably my favorite musical. Avenue Q is a close second, and I haven't seen the actual musical version of Jersey Boys, but I've seen the movie version, and I thought that was pretty well executed, so it only makes me want to see the musical version that much more. Yeah, but outside of that, I haven't gotten the chance to see many musicals, but yeah, definitely make suggestions for ones that are good. I know Chicago is supposed to be good, and I don't know, is The Sound of Music a musical? It sounds like a music. I feel like it's a musical and a movie, one of those things, and Mamma Mia or something like that. Basically, there's a lot of musicals that I should get around to watching at some point. So yeah, definitely a fan of musicals, and I think the live performances really add something special to them, and I of course can relate because I've performed live many a times, as you all will know. Okay, did you ever find that parachute? I honestly can't believe you even remember that. So for reference, there was this one subscriber in particular, I'm not going to mention names just in case, that, so I met a girl in one of my dreams that had her exact name, and the very next day, she commented on one of my videos. It was the exact same name as a girl that I met inside my dreams. It sounds crazy, but it actually happened. And the girl in my dreams said to go find a parachute. Now, this dream was one of the most realistic feeling dreams ever, because the parachute was actually there. You know, because sometimes you would fly in a dream, or you'll see dinosaurs or whatever, and you'll be like, oh, well, I guess that's a dream. But when you get asked to find a parachute, and the parachute's actually there, you start to question what's real and what's just your mind playing tricks on you. So yeah, long story short, I did find the parachute, and the building I was standing on collapsed when I found it. So that might have been the clue that was a dream, but hey, it's hard to tell that you're dreaming when you're actually dreaming, but you know, I could talk about dreams for hours, so I'll keep it under control. Alright. Would you mind if Girl Meets World used cussing for a special occasion? That's an interesting idea. I don't think that even with Girl Meets World and their freedom to do a lot of things within their own... sorry, that's a weird way to phrase it. Yeah, they do have a lot of freedom in terms of the things that they want to do, and they have a lot of agency in terms of the programming they want to instill relative to other DC shows, but I still don't think that will happen, because it's still Disney Channel at the end of the day. But I feel like it's definitely something of a topic. I don't know if it's as worthwhile as some of the topics that they're rumored to be jumping into when season 3 starts, but it is something, and I think that Michael Jacobs and the people behind Girl Meets World could make something interesting out of it, or at least pretty funny. So yeah, I wouldn't mind, because I trust the people behind the process of creating Girl Meets World. If it was a different show on Disney Channel, then maybe not as much, but... Oh, bless me. Sorry about that. If it was a different show, I might not be as sold, and well, if it was a different show, it wouldn't even be it would be a moot point, because Disney Channel wouldn't allow that sort of thing. But with Girl Meets World, they could probably make it work. I mean, it'd probably still be censored, but I think they could make it work. Oh my lord, last question, guys. What shows have impacted you as a child? Wow. So many shows. Alright, let me think about this one. I feel like Dragon Ball Z was a big one. I feel like that inspired a lot of people. But more specific to me, Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that is still my favorite anime of all time. I absolutely love the characters, every single one of them, hero, villain alike. I mean, even though I don't feel like I act very similarly to Yusuke Urameshi, the main character, I feel like deep down we have this interesting connection where I feel like on the very deepest levels in terms of who we are as people, we're kind of similar, even though our outward personalities are very, very different. So it's a little weird, but it's kind of just what I feel. And yeah, Kurama, Hiei, Kuwabara, they're all great. I love those guys, and I could watch that show anytime. I think the Dark Tournament Saga is some of the best pure fighting in any anime, because they make every fight interesting, and because there are so many great powers that they have and so many interesting and unique powers. Yeah, so yeah, I could talk about Yu Yu Hakusho for a while, so I'll just continue listing off shows. Definitely a lot of Nick shows, as I mentioned. The Fairly Odd Parents, Doug, Hey Arnold, the Rugrats, of course. A lot of those shows on Nick. Kenan and Kel, all that. A lot of the Snick stuff, the Saturday Night Nick, for those of you old enough to remember that particular block of television. Dexter's Lab was one of my favorite shows on Cartoon Network, so that was big. Other shows, of course, classic Disney Channel, The Proud Family, Lizzie McGuire on occasion, More Kim Possible, of course. Boy Meets World, of course, I watched that as well. Yeah, there's so many shows, because obviously when you're a kid, you watch a lot of shows, and you just watch whatever's on TV, and you either like it or you don't. But I felt like when I was a kid, there wasn't too many shows I didn't like, because I kind of just was entertained by a lot at that point. It was only when I started becoming much older, much more mature, that I started getting a lot more selective and as analytical as I am now, which is how I can make these kind of analytical videos and do things like that. But yeah, pretty much like anyone, there's a lot of shows that have inspired me as a child. Power Rangers is obviously the biggest, I feel. And yeah, the list would be very, 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 very long if I listed out every single one, because honestly, I probably have seen over 100 television shows in my life. Oh, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I gotta mention the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Wouldn't want to forget that. And yeah, many shows. So lots of great stuff. And yeah, I feel like most of the shows that I watched as a kid definitely impacted me for the better, not necessarily for the worse. I mean, that's not 100% true. There's always some ridiculous stuff in whatever you watch, and of course, without the red rose-colored nostalgia glasses, there's a lot of shows you look back on and say, oh, that's way worse than I remember it. But for the most part, I feel like the shows that I watched as a kid were definitely positive experiences, and shows that I could definitely watch and still get some enjoyment out of if I watch them right now, even though I'm not a kid anymore. Well, at least age-wise. Woo! Wow, guys. So that is all the questions. Thank you so much for everyone that actually asked a question. When I actually thought of the idea to do a Q&A special, I did not think at all that I would get that many questions. I mean, I think there was over 40 questions on the Austin and Alley video where I first posed the idea to ask questions to me within a couple of hours, and that's just crazy to me. Like, you guys are ridiculously awesome, like unhumanely so. It's amazing how much of you guys like and sub and comment on all of these videos, and you know the guys that do all that. There's way too many to list here, but thank you for all that, and it's because of you that I can create this content, and hopefully you enjoy this. You've enjoyed what I've done. Hopefully you'll continue to enjoy what I continue to do. And it's still really, really fun for me to make these videos. It definitely hasn't gotten to a point where it feels like, oh, I've got to make a review of this. So it's definitely still a very fun process. I mean, sometimes it can get frustrating because one of my biggest pet peeves in terms of just making videos is just something with me. I really, really, really am particular about the kind of audio recording I do. Not as much with this particular video because, you know, it's more just free form, as I mentioned in the very first one. So there's not a lot of editing going on with what I'm saying. It's just whatever comes to my mind at the time. But I really just have this pet peeve where I just need to get it sounding a certain way. You know what I mean? And those kind of edits are kind of frustrating. But other than that, making these videos is always a really fun process. And of course, the funnest part of this process is hearing what you guys have to say and being able to respond to what you guys have to say. And a lot of times make a real conversation out of it and discuss what's happening in whatever show or whatever movie and just think about these things more deeply. I mean, the best comments I get are the really, 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 really long ones because it means a lot that people have so much to say about the videos I make, and the ones that are basically telling me, because of you and your review, I thought about something in a different way. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, thinking about things in a different way, thinking about things more deeply, and paying attention to details that you might not even have noticed before, and allowing that to continue to influence your perspective and think about, well, everything that I review. Yeah. So those are always really, really amazing comments to read. And of course, I love all the comments that come. I mean, I never thought in a million years that a few months ago that I would create a channel and a video that I created would have more views than the populations of some major towns and cities. But that's what we're at. I mean, my most viewed video is top 5 worst episodes of Girl Meets World, and that's got like 60,000 plus. I don't know how. I really don't know how. I guess people are really drawn to negativity because I don't know. But yeah, it's been an amazing ride so far, and I'm definitely gonna keep trying to do this for as long as I can, for as long as there's, you know, something to review. I mean, there's always something to review. Obviously, I won't run out of content anytime soon, but yeah. Thanks for everyone again. I can't really thank you enough, but I'll try. And just know that every video that I make and every video that I've made is all possible because there's people like you that are continuing to inspire me to do more, to think a little bit harder, to try a little bit harder, to make these videos as great as I can. And yeah, that's what it's all about. And I know there's a lot of you that asked about, you know, my age or what I look like and stuff like that, but for right now, I don't feel 100% comfortable sharing that information. I mean, it's not, I think it's less of a big deal than I'm making it, honestly, but I don't know, it's just kind of this feeling I have. I mean, if I do this for long enough, then definitely eventually I'm going to make a video where I'm actually in the video and not just saying stuff about something else that's playing in the background or something like that. But for now, I feel like I just want to stay where I'm at, so to speak. And again, I'm probably making a much bigger deal of this than I should be, but I don't know, it's just what I feel, and hopefully you guys can understand that for now. And somewhere down the line, we'll try and make that happen. Yeah. So yeah. Hey, look at that. We did it, guys. All this 4-part Q&A special, which I did not know was going to be 4 parts, by the way. This is nuts. This is crazy. I had over 50 questions in total, not something I expected. And this is something new that I learned about Windows Movie Maker through this video. So when I was making the original recording, I didn't get to every question through the first recording because Windows Movie Maker told me that there was a limit to how much I could record at one time. And the limit came because I was talking for over an hour and I didn't even notice it. I had no idea that the video would actually be over an hour in total length. So that's crazy, and that's a complete testament to you guys and how much you care about this channel and how much you genuinely like it. Again, it's a pretty humbling thing because I never expected that this many people would actually give a damn about what I had to say about, anything in terms of, analyzing this stuff. But I try as hard as I can, I think as hard as I can, and people seem to watch it. So hopefully we can keep doing things like this. Maybe get over 3,000 subscribers one day. Hopefully it'll come. Maybe it'll come within the next couple of months or so. But for now, we'll just try and keep making cool videos. The next video will be reviewing episode 3 of Stuck in the Middle, yes, where there'll be a very tiny review of episode 2 as well, since I didn't want to make a full review of that. So tiny recap of that for those that wanted me to dive into that. And then the Cheetah Girls video, that had to be delayed because I didn't think that making this Q&A special would take as long as it did, but it did. But it was fun to make. It was definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be to make because obviously it's a 4-part video and I've got to find pictures that symbolize whatever it is that I'm talking about. So there's that. But the Cheetah Girls review will get done, and for the 50th video, since so many of you requested it and wanted to do it, then I'm thinking we'll just do Lemonade Mouth for that review, since there are so many of you that want me to review Lemonade Mouth. So for the 50th video, I'm thinking, yeah, why not? Let's just review Lemonade Mouth. I don't know if that'll end up being after I review Cheetah Girls 2. I'm pretty sure that if it gets to the 50th video, that'll come before I review Cheetah Girls 2. So it'll be like the Stuck in the Middle review is coming, and then Cheetah Girls probably. Oh, and then there's a new Liv and Maddie episode on Sunday, so I'll review that probably on Monday, and then Cheetah Girls probably after that, and then I don't know how many videos I have right now. At that point, I'll probably have like maybe 48. So then I'll make one more, and then do the Lemonade Mouth review, which I'm going to start working on right now, like before I even start making those other videos, because for me, Lemonade Mouth is just one of those DCOMs where I did the How to Build a Better Boy review in around a day. Well, it was 6 or 7 hours, but an afternoon, more or less. And I could do that mainly because 1, I watched it recently, and 2, because I had watched it 2 times before that, so I kind of knew what I had to say. But I've seen Lemonade Mouth 5 times, but I feel like it needs to be more of a preparation thing, because I feel like this matters a bit more, so to speak, because this is the kind of movie that so many people watched, and it kind of came out of nowhere. So I just think it's a special movie in a lot of ways. Whether it's actually good or not is something I'll be talking about in the review, but it's definitely something that I'm going to put the extra little bit of effort into reviewing, and yeah, hopefully that'll shine through, and hopefully that makes for a good 50th Disney Brain video. Sorry, Melanie, no Maddie tribute, but maybe somewhere down the line if I want to make some sort of tribute video. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, you guys know how long-winded I can be, so I have trouble stopping when I'm just thinking about things to talk about. So we'll just end it right here, and yeah, Q&A special over. Woo! And at this point, there's actually 100 more subscribers, more or less, or actually 160 or so more subscribers than when I started making this Q&A special. So, hey, that's a great sign. So, yeah. And we're done now. Right now. Oh, yeah, I usually say until then when we're done, but I don't really have footage to play back. Oh, actually, I have an idea for that. Until then! I'm overboard.